Hello everyone, my name is Abdurrahman Abushal, and with Jamaluddin and Niels Daphne, we will present a research in which we discuss accents and what they convey based on Russel Peter's Notorious, a stand-up comedy that was performed in 2013. Russel Peters is known for making comic impressions of accents from all over the world, which is why we chose him for this research in order to investigate why such impressions are part of his success as a stand-up comedian. The following is our project, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Russel Dominic Peters, born September 29, 1970, is a Canadian comedian and actor. He began performing in Toronto in 1989 and won a Gemini Award in 2008. In his show Notorious, Russel Peters imitates accents of different speakers from all over the world, India, Thailand, Mexico, to create a comical effect. In our video, we will analyze the different accents present in the show and explore the notion of prestige associated with the languages and dialects. We will begin our video by defining some concepts of sociolinguistics that are necessary to understand this video. Then, we will list the accents imitated by Peters in the show and provide clips extracted from the show to illustrate some occurrences. We will discuss how Peters plays with these stereotypes to convey humor. Finally, we will say a few words about people's views on accents in cases where accents are looked upon with prestige or, on the contrary, with respect. Accent. An accent is a pattern of pronunciation. In sociolinguistics, an accent is also a way of pronunciation by the speaker with shared characteristics from a certain locality within the community. Dialect and language. Linguist Mac Weinreich once said that a language is a dialect with an army and a navy. In other words, there is no real difference between a language and a dialect, except that a language is usually viewed with more prestige.
We believe that by distinguishing accent from dialect, it becomes clear that Peters' impressions are only imitations of accents and mainly focused on sounds. And still, there are instances where Peters shows how non-native speakers of English make distinct grammatical errors that vary from one non-native speaker to another. We counted the times Peters uses accents based on situations he presented. The total of situations in which impressions of accents occur is 44. 8 times imitating the standard or formal accent, 7 times Australian, 2 times African American, 9 times Spanish, 9 times Indian, 6 times Arabic, and 3 times Asian accents.
Languages and their variations have distinct sound patterns. This allows native speakers to recognize when their language is being spoken by a non-native speaker. Focusing on these phonological differences, most of Peters' jokes utilize this universal recognition of accents of non-native English speakers. Peters also imitates the sounds of several foreign languages, claiming, "If you know what it sounds like, you can fake it." It is true that people can recognize the sounds of languages other than their own, and this begins from an early age. In research done by Kienzler 2009, it was found that 5-month-old infants stared longer at someone speaking their native language with a native accent compared to a person speaking a foreign language or speaking it with a foreign accent. Even more so as adults, we're able to recognize distinct sound patterns unique to a particular language. Interestingly, the connotations people have about most accents are negative. For example, Linderman 2005 found from surveys of international groups of participants that non-native English speakers from places like Asia and South America were negatively stigmatized, while those from Europe were the least stigmatized. Generally, according to Edwards 1999, people tend to think of their own native language, including accent, in a positive way, while negative attitudes are held about non-native languages, but not always. For example, Hosoda, 2007, found that in a study comparing accents, quote-unquote, standard American English evoked a more positive effect among an ethnically diverse group of participants. Likewise, Gluzek and DeVito, 2010, reviewed research that showed speakers with non-native accents were perceived negatively overall. Edwards suggests that attitudes about language or accent are based on social perceptions of its speakers rather than any ideals about the language itself.
We will now watch 3 clips from the show and explore what some of these accents convey in terms of positive or negative connotation.
Spanish language, but if you go to a place where all they do is speak Spanish and they should be speaking English, it gets annoying. Because they see the brown skin, they just assume something's going on. They just, everywhere I go in Florida, they're like, oye, cubano, oye, when I told the guy, I go, oh, I don't speak Spanish. He goes, what kind of fucking Latino don't speak Spanish?
In this first clip, the comedian does an impression of a Spanish accent as spoken by Mexican people living in Florida. Overall, we can say that his impression is rather negative. Peters portrays Mexicans as stupid, ignorant, aggressive, and annoying.
I know what the problem is in the Middle East. My Arab friends, listen up. Here's how to start change over there. Here's what the first problem is. Arab men will never say, no, I don't know. You know how you could tell when an Arab guy's lying? He'll start his answer off with, okay. That's the fucking tip-off. When you know he's lying, right then. Because I'm like, really? I don't know how to make a cake. How do you make a cake? Okay. First, you get cake. Then you make it for 20 minutes. Then you have cake. Are you sure? Because I don't think that's how you make cake. That is the only way to make cake. They've been making cake like that since the beginning of time. I'm like, all right, don't get crazy. I'm just asking.
In this second clip, Peters does an impression of an Arabic accent. Once again, it conveys a negative connotation. Arabic people are depicted as violent, proud, and liars. Let's watch the last clip together.
So if you know what it sounds like, you can fake it by just sounding angry. Like, I'll give you an example. If I went to India, there's over 200 languages in India. I don't know any of them at all. I know like a couple of greetings, but I don't know enough to get me in or out of trouble. But I know what they all sound like. And if I was stuck in India and I needed some help, I would just fake it. They would never know. I could be stuck in India in a market, I'd be like, they won't know. They'll be like, oh my God, he's very angry. I don't know. I don't know what dialect that one is, but this man is very angry. He is most angry. He's very cross, so cross. Same thing with any language you can fake. And I'm going to Hong Kong in a couple of weeks. If I get stuck there, fuck it. I don't speak Cantonese, but I know what it sounds like. I'll just act angry. I don't know what language that man is speaking. But whatever the case, he's very mad. So mad. I've never seen somebody so mad in my life.
In this last clip, the comedian does an impression of Indian people. Once more, it is quite a negatively connoted impression. Indian people are portrayed as credulous, angry, and rather stupid. Russel Peter plays with accents and stereotypes to convey humor. Yet, interestingly enough, we have discovered that in most cases the comedian does negative impressions of each group of speakers. It is fascinating in terms of language hierarchy. As you may know, some languages are considered more prestigious than others. For example, American English is considered to be the standard language in the United States, and it is thought to be more prestigious than its vernacular dialects such as African or Appalachian American. Likewise, in the circle theory, inner circle English is judged more prestigious than outer circle English spoken in India or Nigeria, for instance. However, in this show, Russel Peter puts all languages at the same level by mocking each and every one of them. By doing so, he challenges the concept of language hierarchy and tells us that no language is more prestigious than another. Each and every one of them can be ridiculed. Russel Peter shows us in a humoristic way that we tend to be extremely negative towards other language speakers, but the opposite is true too. You may think that your language is more prestigious, but wait until someone from another country does an impression of you, and you'll see.
Ta-da!